Travel nursing can bring you to places you've never been before. Tell us your story.
Hi, it's Rita at the Travel Nurse Channel. How are you? It's Tuesday again. So we're here for you if you travel, if you employ travel nurses, travel healthcare workers. Always tidying up at the last minute. And it's just a safe place. A place that understands the travel industry and the healthcare industry, because I've been in it for many, many years. I started in the 70s, and here we are in the 21st century. If you're interested in being a sponsor, if you have anything you want to offer nurses, travel nurses, if you want to offer them uniforms, if you want to offer them stethoscopes, if you want to offer them living spaces while they're traveling in the different states. If you are a recruiter, if you're a recruitment company, if you are at all interested in healthcare and nurses, you need to check into the Travel Nurse Channel. We've been here for a while. We've changed our names a few times. We started off as Gold and then Travel Nurses something or other, but this seems to be where we're settled, the Travel Nurse Channel, because that's really what it's about. And a lot of nurses consider the travel nurse genre. A lot of nurses are perfectly happy on staff and very much needed on staff, but for a variety of reasons, this area of nursing has grown. The hospitals and the care facilities, the clinics and long-term care and oncology centers, and every place you can think of where a nurse is needed, home health, and all the new areas which we're going to get into in this hour, are all in need of nurses. And so the travel industry is another option, and a really positive option for many. And so that's what we talk about for the most part. I've had a wonderful financial planner, Marlon, and I hope to have him again. Nurses that are writers, nurses that are innovators, people that care about your mental and psychological state, people that focus in on what is best for you, what doesn't work for you. We've had wonderful speakers and visitors, home health, hospice, you name it. And I invite you all, again, recruiters, any side, any part of this picture, I invite you to come and speak to other nurses. Gosh, I turned that off, but I guess I have to totally disconnect. I apologize. I turned off my phone sound, I thought. So now we'll just power off altogether. Stop being interrupted. And in the past few weeks, I sort of poked at certain areas that I think are interesting, but if they're not interesting, please comment. I do get random questions about various things, and when I have the answer, I'll give it to you right then and there. If not, I can email you, or I will bring it back up on the following Tuesday. So I broadcast on Tuesdays primarily, unless life gets in the way, and it's usually from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So here we are again, Tuesday, the 22nd. Tomorrow, my granddaughter is officially 2, and we celebrated on Saturday. Her dad's birthday was on Friday the 18th, and we celebrated with lots of friends and family in a beautiful park, and the food was delicious. There were lots of donuts, lots of donuts. I brought healthy food. I brought watermelon and salad, but they were irresistible donuts, and yeah, and so time to get healthy. Remember your lettuce and tomatoes, nurses. Remember the healthy stuff, and then, you know, what do we say? Enjoy life, have dessert first. So anyway, yeah. So she's officially turning 2 tomorrow, so I guess we'll have to have cake again. But where have we come from? 2 years. She almost marks the 2-year mark for COVID, and that is significant in what's going on and the opportunities for nurses and the increase. So well, let's break it down. Let's talk about some of the things that have changed, and we know COVID is one of them. So nurses that never even considered traveling, but were strong ER nurses, experienced ER nurses, experienced ICU nurses. Some nurses were just coming off retirement, jumped back in and helped because we were devastated, absolutely devastated as a nation and as a world, as a global, the global situation of the COVID pandemic erupted. And it ain't over yet, although I think the numbers in the hospitals and the death numbers have gone down. But it's been a terrible shock and a terrible situation that's somewhat under control now. Vaccines are available. Some treatments, some effective treatments are available. And we've all had our brush with it. A very close friend, his brother-in-law, somebody I saw over the years many, many times, a wonderful, wonderful guy, succumbed very quickly to it. My little nephew, before his first birthday in February, was in the hospital and isolated for a week, a terrifying week for the family and his mom, my niece. And there's still so much unknown about, it seems that the sicker you are, the longer you will have the side effects. I believe that's documented. It seems that if you are not aware of certain health or conditions, that they will arise. You know, maybe you weren't aware that you had migraines and what stimulated them, and now you've gotten headaches for months after having had COVID. So there's still much to learn about it. We still have to practice our hazmat and you know, just really good hygiene and protection for yourself and protection for your patients. So got off the subject. Let's talk about the subject at hand. Opportunities. Yes, many, many opportunities. And I just did want to say one more thing about the Travel Nurse channel. You can contact us anytime at that 800 number on the screen, 800-737-6518. You can contact me personally if you'd like to be a guest on the show and broadcast with me. That's always, always welcome. It's Rita, R-I-T-A, at travelnursechannel.com, Rita at travelnursechannel.com, and I'll get back to you ASAP. But what are the opportunities today for nurses? Well, and how did we get to these opportunities? We already spoke about COVID, the growing need for nurses and needing them in places that were particularly hit hard in the beginning. It was New York's, the big cities, New York City, San Francisco, the state of Washington, Seattle was hit very, very severely. And but what's driving these opportunities, in addition to the COVID, is an aging population. The baby boomers, I'm one of them, I'm pretty sure, because I'm in my 60s. We are, many of us, Medicare recipients now. So that is a bigger population with all the problems that occur as the vessel. I always think of my body and my aging like a car. Like, I remember I didn't have too many brand new cars, but I've had a few, and they're just not the same after 3 years or 10 years. I've kept cars 10 and 11 years. I still have a car that's probably I've had for 15 years. It's noisy and it needs shocks or something like that. But it's my backup car. It's a big old sturdy old big old car. So I hang on to that car. It's nice to have a backup car. And because it's so old, it's not too as expensive to insure. But at any rate, that old car of mine isn't the way it was on the day I got it. And that one I got new. It was my first SUV. And yeah. So everything's older, from the cellularly the cellular level on, right? The skin turgor changes, the eyesight weakens, maybe you develop a cataract. They do great things now with cataracts. I was a brunette. No, I started my life as a blonde, very, very towhead. All my baby pictures, I look completely bald, but there was this little layer of white blonde hair. So yeah, it went white. It was white, then blonde, then yellow, then dirty blonde, then browner and browner and browner. And I spent most of my adult life as a brunette, but my senior adult life is kind of white. So things change, right? And as a baby boomer, I have had health issues, nothing severe, everything treatable, but way more accidents and injuries and deteriorating joints and less acute hearing, a variety of things. Could have been all that rock and roll, all those concerts. That was so much fun as I was leaving my teen years, getting into my college years. It was great fun to meet with old friends and go to a concert. And so we did that all over New York and New Jersey for years. We'd save our pennies just to go to these great concerts. And so what I'm saying is those baby boomers are going to need more health care. The Affordable Care Act, the ACA, I think that, I'm not going to say, I think that became a thing during the Obama administration. But due to that ACA, that Affordable Care Act, there is more health care available to more people. And we are a nation of so many millions, billions of people in our nation. So those healthcare services are treating more individuals than ever before. What else? Primary care. Okay, so the reforms that are in place, in addition to the Affordable Care Act, have created increasing emphasis on primary care, increasing emphasis on preventative, on wellness care, instead of just treat the sick and the injured. No, let's stay healthy, right? That's why I say, eat your lettuce and tomatoes, eat your oranges and your healthy lean proteins, and stay healthy and exercise and get good rest. Take care of yourself inside and out, and psychologically and mentally, because we got to take care of, like my old car. Oh dear, where are my tissues? Sorry. You know, I'm in Southern California. It's pretty darn dry. And it seems that when I start talking, moving around, my nose seems to get dry. Excuse me. But yeah, so there's more emphasis on primary care. There is more emphasis on prevention and wellness care. And then certainly there's always going to be care for the chronic diseases that we develop. Again, the aging population, any population. You can be a childhood diabetic, diabetic 1. You can be an adult onset diabetic, or it can hit you at any time over the years. So lots of chronic things, hypertension, respiratory problems, and so forth. And so all of those things create opportunities for healthcare workers, and particularly travel nurse. So we do talk about nurses quite a bit. The swelling baby boomers, like I said, the swelling number of us that are here. And what did I want to say? Oh, community-based nursing is growing. Telehealth nursing is growing. Informatics, various types of geriatric care. You know, for years, and you'll see it on all the over-the-counter stuff, 12 and over. So we treat, I'm having trouble talking today. We treat Okay, let's just picture your Tylenol bottle or your cough medicine bottle or I don't know, your ibuprofen or something. Um, the dosage is basically consult a physician if you're 2 or younger, and the child dose is usually between over 2 to 12. And then the adult dose, which includes all these ages. I am physiologically not the same as my daughter, who's just about 30, and I'm not physiologically the same as 18-year-olds. I'm not physiologically the same as 88-year-olds. So 12 and over, take 2 ibuprofen, right? Every 4 to 6 hours. How is that? We metabolize different. We are different. Our livers are older. Our guts are older. Our skin is older, you know. I mean, it's interesting. So, so specialties and special care for geriatrics have developed, and rightly so. You know, the way evaluating their vascular system and their blood pressure issues is different than someone in their 20s or 30s or 40s. And lifestyle is different, right? My lifestyle in my 60s is different than it was in my 40s or my 30s. Anytime. 60s are really unique. I mean, you know, I've had shoulder surgery, knee surgery, and then the big one, a hip replacement. Yeah, I didn't have that in my 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s. All right, what else? Yeah, so things are blossoming in the fact that there are more healthcare needs than ever before, more healthcare needs that are supported by healthcare institutions and government policies. So the opportunities are many, many, many. I believe my comment line is open. I want to tell you I got started late because something didn't click on my computer. So we had to redo everything. I got started a little bit late. So it's normally broadcast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So we're about halfway through. It's just about 10:35 here. So according to various clocks around me, yeah, 10:35. So if you have any questions or comments, if you're looking for opportunities as a nurse or as a travel nurse, as a nurse aide, a CNA, a certified nurse aide, an LVN or an LPN, as known in some states, licensed vocational or licensed practical nurse is the LVN and the LPN. If you are a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, if you are any of the specialties, if you carry any special certs as a nurse, if you are a respiratory therapist, a physical therapist, and a speech pathologist, if you are a physician, you have anything to do with healthcare, and this industry of travel nursing appeals to you, of traveling appeals to you, there are opportunities galore. Many, many opportunities I already highlighted, the telehealth, the informatics, the increase for geriatric. They are all on the rise, and the numbers are on the rise, and the need is on the rise. The rates probably have improved from what they were 10 years ago, and if they're not improving where you are practicing, maybe you want to look into travel nursing because the opportunities are many, many, many. And I really need new glasses, but just one of those things I haven't gotten around to. No, I hadn't had my eyes examined since pre-COVID, and I finally did. And these babies are really scratched, but you know, I get by really well with all my little cheater reading glasses all around the house. So folks, if you didn't think there were opportunities, I'm here to tell you there are. And let's look at some specific opportunities if we can. Yeah, you know what? You know what has, I'm not sure what the increase is, but it's something to throw out there. People that are dissatisfied with their careers, and it can happen both ways. A nurse may say, that's enough. I've been stressed out. That's enough. I'm moving on. And there are stressors because of the shortage, right? So, and sometimes when people are stressed, they're not as kind as they should be to one another and to their contemporaries and their co-workers, their leaders. People get a little short, a little testy. Happens to us all. Get overwhelmed, and so the consequence is that if that has happened 1, 2, 3 is too many times, you might actually consider a different career. And that may happen with the career you're involved in, which could be a number of things. Say it's mechanical engineering, or say it's digital, say it's nonprofit, say it's fundraising, whatever career you got into. If it's really not working for you, if you find that you're not sleeping well, you're unhappy, you're grouchy, you're overwhelmed, you may want to consider nursing. It has been a joyous, joyous, joyous career for me, from the many, many aspects, from all my years as clinical, from all my years in leadership roles, and even today in staying connected through the Travel Nurse channel and being able to use my skills and knowledge for family members, for friends, for assisting people in direction, and so forth, and receiving that back when I talk to friends or family or contemporaries or anybody that I know in the field and consult with them. I did a lot of that when I had a little brush with cancer. I did a lot of that when I was preparing for hip surgery, and I'm so grateful for the people in the healthcare industry that love it and love to share. And I recently talked to an ophthalmologist about what was going on with me, and he invited me to come down and gave me tutorials. It was wonderful. I got the models out, opened them up, showed them to me, talked about it, wrote notes down. It was really, really special and helpful for me, because I know very little bit about the eyes, except that I need them. And I understand that drops are good for glaucoma and cataracts and dry eye and so forth, but I have minimal knowledge, and this ophthalmologist had a wealth of knowledge and shared. It was wonderful. Gave me good direction, and even gave me more places to research about some of the things we talked about. So opportunities for nurses, for travel nurses, for travelers in healthcare are many, many, many across the nation. And if you are in an area and considering nursing, oh, something's coming up, but it's not showing. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to read. This looks like a paragraph instead of a question or a comment, but let's read it. Somebody's checking in and saying, the overall population is aging. For the first time in history, and probably for the rest of human history, people aged 65 and over will outnumber children under the age of 5. Is that right? Yeah, there's a lot of us. A lot of us 60-ish people. Life expectancy is increasing. Most countries, including developing countries, show a steady increase in longevity over time, which raises the question of how much further life expectancy will increase. The number of oldest old is rising. People age 85 and over are now the fastest growing portion of many national populations. Actually, that I knew. That's that's been going on for a bit. People age 85 and over are now the fastest growing portion of many national populations. My mom will be 93 in about 2 months, right? 2 months from Thursday is her birthday, May 24th. And she's outlived all her siblings. She is the youngest. She had 5. There were 5 of them. So she's number 5. And she got the better genes, I guess. They all had heart disease. Some of them had cancer. I think my mom's secret is she's not a stressaholic. Some people really thrive on that angst and that stress. And, a little bit of anxiety is good. A little bit of adrenaline is good. It helps you accomplish things. But too much, this is one of my quotes. Maybe I heard it somewhere, but I hear squeaking. I hope it's not a mouse. Is that stress is the root of all disease. Well, it certainly doesn't help. But I've said that. Stress. Some stress, I believe, we need, right? If you're near a fire, you need that alert to say, don't get too close. You see the flames and the sparks, stay back, right? So you have that sense to protect yourself. But too much stress is detrimental. Thank you for that that information about the aging population. Absolutely. I think we're recognizing that, and we're starting to recognize that we better investigate more on how to treat an 85-year-old versus a 25-year-old, even an 85-year-old versus a 45-year-old. They're not the same, right? So, so we're ever learning, and we must learn, and we must teach one another. And I'm just here to tell you there are opportunities, and that's one reason why this aging population and it's the nursing shortage is devastating. If you are in a career that you're not thrilled about, and you don't see upward mobility, and you don't see opportunities, well, in nursing you will. In many healthcare fields you will. And I'm really excited for my daughter because it took her well past her college years to figure out what she wanted to do. She had ideas. She had ideas about becoming a physician, actually, and a psychiatrist, and then got disillusioned with that and the time it was taking to get through college. She had met her future husband in college, and so she got her bachelor's in, I think it's a psychology science major. She may have had a second major that I can't recall, but she still didn't know what she wanted to do. She had many jobs while she was a college student and wound up in an industry that really made her unhappy. It was a finance industry. My husband was very excited, and it helped her move from her college town of San Francisco back down to the San Diego area and stay with the company and work in that area. But people were not nice. She was not thriving. And so she eventually left, tried a few other things, and finally investigated the school district to see if she qualified for any of their jobs. She was a little overqualified for some of those jobs that she thought she could get into. And finally started working in the schools as an assistant in special needs, and was highly influenced by an occupational therapist and found her career. So exciting. And she's a graduate now. I'm going to take her, I'm not sure how she tests, practicums or boards or what they're called, but she's moving on in that wonderful career. So I'm happy for her. So folks, I'm here to tell you there are opportunities for the nurse. There are opportunities for the travel nurse. There are opportunities for travelers, and anybody that would like to co-host with me or be a guest on the show. Any topic that you are interested in might just interest someone else. So I invite you all to give me a holler. Email me, rita@travelnursechannel.com. Call 800-737-6518. We look forward to connecting with you. If you want to be a sponsor, it's a very nominal fee, and you will reach thousands and thousands of travelers. Nurses, stay tuned, because there are going to be lots and lots of opportunities broadcasted. And what else? We are on Facebook and YouTube, So if you can't catch us at the moment when we're live, it's all in the archives. And I imagine some people still are checking with Facebook. I do. It's an opportunity to connect with people I otherwise wouldn't, distant friends, distant relatives, keep up, find out who's having a baby or, who's on vacation. I really enjoy that. Discovered Wordle. Trying to stay away from that. I have enough word addictions. But yeah, so Facebook has been sort of fun for me. I know not everybody's fond of it. Most everybody's using Instagram or Twitters, but we're there. We're still on Facebook and YouTube, and we're there for you, for all of you. So what else can we talk about? All these opportunities. There are opportunities in almost every state for travelers. So if you have always been interested in visiting Montana, or you've always been interested in visiting California, Northern California, Southern California, the big pieces in the middle, lots and lots of opportunities, lots of travel assignments, lots of great hospitals, university hospitals, big corporate hospitals, non-for-profit hospitals. Opportunities are definitely in community-based care, telehealth, huge, growing fast. What else did I mention? Informatics for the nurse that is really savvy in technology. Big needs there because you have the nursing piece and the technology piece, and both are needed to go forward. It benefited me when I was researching and I wanted to know where I stood in the nation and where I stood in the world as far as I have this cancer, it's an early stage, what treatments do I really need, what testing will put me on that board, on that scale, and it really helped me because I was really in a low, somewhere between 11 and 18% once I had surgery to remove what the problem was. I didn't need radiation oncology. I didn't need chemotherapy. I just needed to do my normal wellness checks and mammograms, et cetera. So, man, that saved me a lot of grief and a lot of treatment that really wasn't necessary. So, so research and informatics in nursing is another great opportunity. And traveling itself is a great opportunity. We've talked about that, the advantages of nursing and the advantages of travel nursing. And, we talk about disadvantages too, because it isn't all rainbows and unicorns, right? But if you want some adventure, if you want to be able to spend some time visiting family in another state that you often don't get to do, if you want to work in a smaller hospital, if you want to work in a larger hospital, if you want to share your skills, because most people don't travel when they first become nurses. They travel once they have some experience. And so then you can mentor, you can share with others. And then when you arrive where you're going to work, you may find you're learning as well, because things that work in one state, say Ohio, may not work in the state of Florida. Things that work in Florida may not work in California or Alabama. So there's things to share, wonderful things to share. And I think whoever, this anonymous person that commented here about the overall population aging, and that is true. And that creates some of those opportunities. All right, people, let's see. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'll repeat the numbers. I will see you next Tuesday, and I hope to have a guest next Tuesday. The number to call if you're interested in the Travel Nurse channel and opportunities that we have is 800-737-6518. If you want to talk to me privately, if you have any questions or concerns, you can't make it when we're live on Tuesday mornings, 10 to 11 Pacific Standard Time, you can email me. It's Rita, R-I-T-A, at travelnursechannel.com. And if you're thinking of a career in nursing, I think it's great. Many of us do think it's great. Is it perfect? Oh no. Is it stressful? Sometimes. Is it wonderful? Yes. So if you're thinking of a career in nursing, do your homework, go to the American Nursing Association, or go to the board in your state, the BRN, the Board of Registered Nurses in your state, and find out what's going on. Find out where the accredited schools are, and how you get in, how do you get on a waiting list. Maybe you switch states to get educated. Maybe that you find that there are more opportunities in Arizona than there are in Pennsylvania. I don't know. I just threw those states out because I don't want to be partial to any one state. But yeah, if you're interested in a career in nursing, wonderful. I hope that you are able to fulfill that desire. Okay, folks, I've blah, blah, blah enough, blah, 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 blah. But I love you, and I am appreciative of all my clinical nurses out there, of all my informatic nurses out there, of all my docs and healthcare workers and CNAs and all you beautiful people for doing the work. Thank you. Anybody interested in doing the work, power to you. And call me anytime, email me anytime. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Hang on a moment to see our nurse in a sidecar. Take care. Bye-bye.
Travel nursing can bring you to places you've never been before. Tell us your story.